Welcome back, everybody, to Author Mastery Insights. And I am with Sam Monaco, and this is a very special conversation for me because I love this amazing person so much. He is a practice member here at Provolution Health, but also an amazing human being on an incredible journey. Sam, welcome. It's great to connect.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for having me.
Look, I'm honored and I'm excited. And for those who may not be familiar, Sam is a contributing author to the Badass Story 3, has an incredible chapter in there. And I wanted to talk with her about this chapter because not only is she the creator of Monaco Equine Bodywork, she has an amazing story and is on an incredible journey. And I think the opportunity to speak with people who are living their life and facing challenges, adversity, and overcoming them to explore their inherent potential and reach for that greatness is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to learn from. So when Sam, who's a practice member here at Provolution Health, and also, a part of the chiropractic family with chiropractors in her family, we love having our time with her in our conversations, and I wanted to share her journey as well. So Sam, you're a contributing author to this book, and it's available on Amazon. Everybody, the link will be down below as well. I'd love for you to explain a little bit about how you becoming a contributing author to this book came about.
No worries. So my auntie, my dad's sister, actually started the Badass Story series. So she started that a couple of years ago. And when she came out with the first one and was looking for people to contribute to the first one, I'd sort of thought, oh, that looks cool. Maybe I'll do that one day. But I guess it wasn't the right time at number one and number two. Anyway, when I saw she was looking for authors for number three, I messaged her and was like, hey, if you need to fill a spot, I'd love to contribute. And she was super happy to have me on board. And so then my job was just to write my chapter.
And you have done an amazing chapter. I think you've written so elegantly. And I just want to highlight to people, Sam, how old are you?
I just turned 23 a couple of days ago.
Happy birthday for a couple of days ago. And I just
Thank
want
you.
to point this out, 23 and facing challenges, overcoming those. There is no point in life, and you're never too old, too young to explore your potential, to reach for meaningful and valuable goals and continue down that journey of expressing your life. So I just want to acknowledge and honor you for that. And so here we are, 23, decided I'm ready to contribute to a book about being my best self. And that's really what this book is about, saying I'm going to live my life. I've got challenges, I've got obstacles, there's adversity, but it's not going to, limit me, and I'm not going to be overcome by that. I'm going to step boldly into that life. So in your chapter, you talk, it opens with being in a moment of trauma, facing real challenge and adversity around your career as well. So I'd love for you to just to talk a little bit about not only the fact that you reached out and said, yes, I'm ready to tell this story because I'm bold and courageous and I've got a story to tell. So what is that story?
So when I was 19, I moved to Braidwood, which is where I live now, to work for a guy training horses. And that came about because the job I'd been at previously, everything just came tumbling down. It wasn't working, and my partner and I needed a bit of a change. So we're like, yep, we'll move to Braidwood, train horses. That was all I wanted to do with my life, is work with horses. Been here for a grand total of 4 days. First client horse that I had been asked to ride, and I reckon I lasted about a minute and a half in the saddle before I got bucked off. It was just some bad luck. The saddle slipped, the horse bucked, and I had nothing to hang on to, and yeah, busted my collarbone pretty badly. So what was meant to look like this was like that on the X-ray. So basically, needed to have a major surgery and no riding horses for a couple of months. So it was a pretty low point. I'd sort of just taken up this opportunity. It was my opportunity to prove to everyone, but mainly to myself, that I could do this, that I could make a career out of horses, even though I'd always been told that no, you can't. And yeah, and then to have it all come to a screeching halt like that was, yeah, quite a lot to take in. So that was more painful than the actual injury, although the collarbone is obviously a very painful bone to break, as is any of them. The most painful thing for me was that feeling that I'd failed and I was done. And what the hell do I do now?
That's amazing. And you're an accomplished writer. So we're not talking about a person thinking, oh, I'm going to have a go at this and see what happens. You've ridden your whole life. You love horses. You're a horse person in heart, soul, and spirit. And you've embarked on a journey to pursue your passion, your purpose, and your love. And then 4 days in, a complete screeching halt to the opportunity, and possibly it may have entered your mind, or certainly may have entered other people's mind, to tell you, well, this is maybe not the direction to go. But you didn't sit with that, did you?
No, I was absolutely determined to get back on a horse as soon as I could, and I was determined to continue down the road of training horses. And the people that we were working for were very accommodating, and they'd sort of said, look, this is your home and this is your job now. So if you still want it, as soon as you can get back on a horse, that's, your job, you got your job back. That's fine. So that was very comforting. And it was actually a couple of weeks after the accident that we had a body worker come out to work on some of the horses. And since I was obviously missing a wing and couldn't do anything else, they're like, oh, you just hold the horses for the body workers. So that's what I did. And that was probably one of the most pivotal moments for me, even though I didn't realize it at the time. I sort of thought, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I enjoyed watching. I talked her ear off, asked her a billion questions, but the seed had been planted, even though I didn't sort of act on it for a couple more months. It was, I suppose, a thought that maybe there's another way that I can work with the animals that I love so much that will be, I suppose, more viable and less likely to cause injury. And I don't have to ride so many crazy horses.
And that unfolded, and we're talking about your mentor, Kim, which you beautifully elaborate on in your chapter as well. And it opened up a whole new pathway, still in the area you love, and potentially even expressing your gifts more fully and completely. And so now you work with horses in a bodywork, equine bodywork approach, and with dogs as well. So how did that unfold?
So it was kind of a spur of the moment decision, actually. I found out a couple of months after meeting her that Kim was running a course, and I thought that would be worth looking into. So I rang her up just to see what the story was, and we laugh about it now and we call it the Spanish Inquisition, but it literally was. She absolutely grilled me about, what are my goals, what am I hoping to achieve, why should she take me on, all this sort of thing, and things that I hadn't even really thought about. Anyway, at the end of about an hour, she was like, "Yep, I'll have you on the course." I still don't know, based on the answers I gave her, I still don't know why she decided to take me on, but she must have seen some potential. So I signed up then and there, and that was quite an interesting time as far as dealing with the repercussions of that with family and with my partner. Everyone's totally on board now, but those initial few weeks and months, particularly after I'd first signed up, everyone's in my ear of, why didn't you ask more questions, and what qualification are you going to get, and are you sure this is the direction you want to go? And I think it was all coming from a place of love and support, and it did get to me, but I just had a gut feeling that I should stick it out and see what happens. And I absolutely fell in love with it. Like I love my job. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. And yeah, and I'm really proud of the fact that I was able to stand by my decision and stand by what I wanted to do. And yeah, and once my family realized that, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm good at, and this is what I love, yeah, they were all on board anyway. So yeah.
It's really interesting you say that, because a lot of people, I mean, you said, the challenging your decision, the questioning why you're doing this, and what you're doing, and is even going to work out. you said it comes from love and support. And I think we recognize that, but at the same time, that love and support of questioning us, of challenging us, of maybe even doubting us can cause us to have uncertainty. It can expand our doubt. It can even produce insecurity around the decisions we make and the actions that we take. And yet, you said you stood strong in your decision. What type of character do you reflect upon yourself as having that allowed you to stay strong against other people's doubt and uncertainty, perhaps even your own uncertainty without real definitive clarity at that point? You've gone with a gut feeling, but how do you stand strong in the presence of other people's uncertainty and perhaps even your own?
That's a very good question. Um, I've been told my whole life by many people that I'm very stubborn. So I think, and it's often been used as a bad thing, and I've never really understood that because I've found that my stubbornness has uh, gotten me to where I am now, for better or for worse. But I think that's part of it because when I have something that I'm so driven and determined to do, and that I really, pardon me, that I really believe in, um, it's very hard to shake me from that. And especially when, like, I don't have, really strong gut feelings about things very often, but when I do, I've learned through experience that it is best to just go with it and see what happens. And I suppose I just knew that it was all going to turn out. And I knew that this was too important to let anybody else sway me from my decision. So as much as it, caused a bit of adversity, and as much as there were quite a few arguments with the people I loved during that time, it was no, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I believe is the right way to go. So in that regard, even though it was a little bit difficult at times, the decision to stick with that original decision was ultimately fairly easy. It was almost like I didn't have a choice. This is what I want to do, and I've got to see it through. So
I love that. Given that you've made that choice, you've succeeded against the adversity of broken collarbone, potentially ending. I mean, you've moved interstate. You've created a whole new life, and this could have been, easier to go home and just revisit everything under the guidance and protection of family who want the best for you, but maybe not what you want for you. So you've done this. You've succeeded. What's your advice to people who may feel as though they're not living their best life? They've not embraced the choices that they want to make because of their own fears, doubts, or uncertainties, or the criticisms of other people, or they're not feeling like that's the right time, or that they have the skills, knowledge, or ability. And there's so many reasons we may limit the actions we take to live out our fullest life. So, what's your advice to those people who may be holding back on their potential?
So, my advice would be to not be afraid to take an opportunity. So, if something comes up, whether it's an opportunity to move somewhere new, or study something different, or take a different job, or travel somewhere, if that's what you really want to do, just take it, because what's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't work out, at least you know. And they say you have a lot more regrets at the end of the day about the things that you didn't do rather than the things you did. So my advice would be to pluck up the courage just to give it a shot. And if that opportunity doesn't work out, then maybe the next one will. And at the end of the day, you'll have a hell of a lot more stories to tell your grandkids if you live your life like that, than if you spend your whole time listening to people's doubts and sort of wondering, oh, what if I had have done that? What if I had have done this? And if you take those opportunities and you really embrace what's out there, you'll shock yourself with the things that you're capable of. So that would be my advice, is just, give it a go, see where it leads. There's no other way to find out.
There is not, and that's such sage advice from a young person, but with a very old soul. And Sam, I appreciate you. I love you so much. Whenever you come in and to get an adjustment, we always have a great moment of connection, and that really, I guess, is a wonderful gift to me to have you here within the practice as well. So thank you for that. And as I said, look, everybody's got a story within them. Everybody has a journey ahead of them. Grab your copy of the book and Sammy, keep going and living your best life. Appreciate and value you. Go rock this world. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me and for everything that you do. You're amazing.